Welcome to Cadwell Park for the 5th round of the HSCC Historic Formula Ford Championship. We've already had a race earlier on, but that was a heat to make up the final 6 spaces on the grid, because the entry is so large here at Cadwell Park this weekend. Nearly 40 cars entering, and 26 is the capacity grid, and of course that is what we're going to have for our championship race this afternoon. The cars then heading out on their green flag warming up lap. There were 2 qualifying sessions this morning, so our top 20 spaces have each session having their position on a roto. For example, if you were 5th in your session, you'd be on the 5th row of it. Let's see how that works its way out then. Well, it's Callum Grant on pole position, a multiple winner already this season. Alongside him will be Ben Sims, Mark Shaw and Ben Tilley on row 2, with Sam Mitchell and Rob Smith going on row 3. Rob Tusting, James Buckton, Robert Wainwright and Matt Wrigley complete the top 10. We've got Max Bartel and Danny Stanzel, Simon Toyd and Kevin Stanzel, David Wild, Percy Kaviri, Neil Shinner, James Hadfield returning, his 18th. John Haynes Harlow, Andrew Mansell, and then our 6 runners from earlier on being led off by Ben Tusting. Remember, he had an engine change after qualifying, came from the back of the heat to the front, and we'll see how he gets on, coming from 23rd on this grid. A very competitive grid to the qualifying sessions, very close indeed. Callum Grant and Ben Sims, both former champions on the front row. Then we have very experienced racer Mark Shaw, former Formula 3000 racer, alongside 16-year-old Ben Tilley, fresh from his GCSE exam. Sam Mitchell, another former champion, then he lines up in 5th spot.
Sam Mitchell, son of another former champion. Yes, it's Westy.
And the rest of the grid come into position. Rob Wainwright, he goes 9th, double win already this season. Watch out for him, it's a tight and narrow circuit, and away we go. It's a great start from the outside of the front row from Ben Sims, and as the 26 cars fly down towards Coppice Corner, it will be the Jomo that leads, but Callum Grant is right underneath him as they head now right into Charlie's. It is Sims ahead of Grant. The slipstream, of course, a big factor of Formula Ford 1600 racing, and that is going to be apparent down the park straight where we head now. Sims has had a good run down there. You use the slipstream, he comes out of it, he goes left, he passes Ben Sims up towards Park Corner. Further down the field, Danny Stanzel had a couple of cars going side by side ahead of him. That was James Buckton and Rob Smith. Max Bartel having his first race of the season in the Formula. He goes round the outside to go past Stanzel as we head down towards the gooseneck. We've had a long train of Formula Ford 1600 cars. Fantastic stuff. This championship caters for the first 6 seasons of Formula Ford racing. Quite a small, narrow range of historic racing, and that is one of the many reasons why the racing is so great. Top class racers out there too as they head over the mountain down towards Hall Bend. Rob Wainwright is up to 6th, I think, as Ben Sims gets there. He's sideways through Hall Bend, and then we've got this long train of cars, but it looks like Grant and Sims are starting to pull out to Mark Shaw, starting to break the toe, and that is an important factor. We've got a car off, that's Stuart Dix on the grass, so Andrew Mansell has got caught up in that too. Lots of understeer there for Danny Stanzel as he completes a lap through Barn Corner. That's dropped him off the back of Max Bartel and given a good run down the straight for Simon Toyn, who passes him into Coppice Corner. Sam Mitchell, who's behind Rob Wainwright as we head down the park straight. So it's a great first lap from Wainwright. He's looking to gain another spot. He goes past Robert Tusting up into Park Corner. Tusting must have had a good opening lap too. We turn right through Park Corner. Good speed carried there for Mitchell, as Max Bartel in all of that was going past Rob Smith and looking to the outside of James Buckton. So Bartel making good progress here. Sam Mitchell through the gooseneck, underneath the gearbox of Robert Tusting. Tusting later on the brakes as we turn left into Mansfield. Now down towards the mountain, we look right. There isn't space there though. Tusting later on the brakes too. So we go left, then we go right over the top of the hill. Mitchell has a good run there, heading down towards Hall Bends. He can't find a way through. Oh, and a drop gear change there for Mitchell, but the top two have got a big gap to Mark Shaw, Ben Tilley and Robert Wainwright going well in fifth spot. This long train of cars completed by Danny Stansel. There's a big gap back to Percy Kaviri, who's ahead of Kevin Stansel, then Matt Wrigley, and somewhere in all that lot I think was Ben Tustin. So it's Grant with Sims slip-zooming him down towards Coppice Corner. Can he find a way through here? He's got a good run. He's going down the inside. The two cars are level. Grant carries the speed around the outside to stay ahead as we head into Charlie's. So it is Grant that leads once more from Sims. Two very experienced racers in this category. Grant in the Merlin, one of the most used cars in the series, and Ben Sims in the only Jomo on the grid. Through Park Corner they go. Now through the long right-hander at Chris Curve that just goes on and on and on and takes them down towards the gooseneck before they plummet downhill into Mansfield. Bit of a slide from Sims as he heads down the hill now. Grant using lots of curbing there, Sims following his line. Down to the mountain chicane, underneath the fairly new bridge here at Cadwell Park. And past a pair of grandstands on the left hand side of the circuit. The cars launch over the top of the hill. Now we go right into Hall Bends. Left and right once more before going left and down the brakes. On the brakes, down a gear into the right-handed hairpin. Down towards Barn Corner. We can complete lap 2 of the 20-minute motor race. There's our top two then. It's still Mark Shaw. He's fending off Ben Tilley and Rob Wainwright. A bit further back, there's James Buckton, Max Bartel and Simon Toyne continuing his move through the field. He's gone down the inside of Rob Smith into Coppice Corner. Further back, that's Bun Tusting. He's going past David Wild into Coppice. Gets it done. Aboard with James Buckton, he's losing the place because Max Bartel is passing him. We've lost Sam Mitchell to the pit lane, and you have to presume that is because of the flawed gear change into Hall Bends a few laps ago. So we go right through Chris Curve, and Bartel really pulling away here. He's got lots of speed. Didn't have the best run in qualifying. Got held up in traffic. He's showing plenty of pace. The former race winner, Max Bartel. Callum Grant. Ben Sims into the mountain they turn. Then we've got this freeway battle. Mark Shaw, Ben Tilley and Robert Wainwright. Over the top of the hill they go. Robert Tusting, he's going to have to watch his mirrors because Max Bartel will be after him as Sims flings his way through Hall Bend. We've got Shaw, Tilley, Wainwright absolutely tied together. There's Buxton ahead of Toyne and Smith with Danny Stansel trying to cling on to them. Big gap back before we see anyone else, and that is Percy Kaviri with Matt Wrigley and Ben Tusting. Good battle there, being led by John Hayes Harlow. Top two across the line. Then this battle for third. Ben Tilley looking down the inside of Mark Shaw. Shaw moves over. Tilley's down the inside. He's on the curb. He has a massive slide. He holds on to that slide. He's still right underneath Mark Shaw, but that became very close through Coppice Corner. Tilley was looking down the inside. The gap that Shaw left him seemed to disappear fairly quickly, and you can see with Tilley's hand gestures that he's not particularly impressed with that. But he stayed ahead of Rob Wainwright. He is still in fourth position. And that shows you here at Cadwell Park how tight the circuit is. No room for errors. It was a good save from Tilley because the car was at 45 degrees to the race circuit. Let's take a look at that then, on board with Tilley once more. He got a very good run on Shaw. Shaw gave him a car whip, though Tilley went for it and they had that big slide. Saved onto it well. Grant and Sims then, they continue to lead. It's a huge gap. They've now got over Mark Shaw in third spot. There is Shaw under all this intense pressure from Ben Tilley, who's got to watch his mirrors too because Rob Wainwright is right there waiting to pounce. Battle for sixth is on. Max Bartel has caught Robert Tusting into Hall Bends for our top two. And the trio for third. And they're testing. He's having a good run with Bartel. And Simon Toyne's up to 8th to Toyne's. Toyne's going well there. He's gained quite a few positions through the course of this one. Now Ben Tusting is chasing Perty Kaviri after making his move on Matthew Wrigley. There's James Hadfield. He's trying to find a way past John Hayes Harlow. Bad of a third. Into Coppice Corner. Shaw clear of Tilley this time. It's side by side. That's James Buckton under a lot of pressure. Now what can Max Bartel do on the exit of Charlie's to find his way past Robert Tusting? Tusting run by Neil Fowler Motorsport, and Bartel's got a good run. He's just about found a Formula 4 width to go through, and he's done it. He's up to 6th. Meanwhile, through Charlie's, Rob Wainwright has passed Ben Tilley to go 4th. So that's a change. What can Wainwright do about the 3rd place car of Mark Shaw? Tilley did attack though back into Park Corner, but Wainwright stayed ahead. Out of the gooseneck for Ben Sims. He runs out wide. He's still putting Callum Grant under a lot of pressure here. Sims also racing in the historic Formula 4 2000 Championship this season, so busy weekends for him. Over the top of the mountain they go. Out of a third. Through the mountain chicane with Shaw now with the Eldon behind of Robert Wainwright. They appear into our sight at Hall Bends. There's Bartel in 6th. Ahead of Robert Tusting now, then Simon Toyne, James Buckton and Robert Smith. We've got Danny Stanzel in 11th. It's a huge gap back to Ben Tusting, who's 12th now. He's passed 9 cars in this race so far. There's Kevin Stanzel ahead of David Wild and Neil Shinner. James Hadfield trying to find a way past John Hayes Harlow still. Wainwright was looking to the outside of Shaw there. Shaw holding on, defending there on the inside. Second part of Charlie's. Tilley really having to work at the wheel there. The former Sax Maxer Junior Saloon racer. The series for Citroen Saxos for drivers between 14 and 16 years old. And Wainwright to the outside now of Shaw. Shaw holds on. So he's still 3rd, 4th is Wainwright, 5th is Tilley. Now as these cars battle, can Max Bartel close them in? Remember he started 11th, passing 5 cars already. That's a great run from Bartel. Out of Mansfield, down towards the mountain they go. Shaw defending, Wainwright looking to the outside. Wainwright dives to the inside in the braking zone. He can't find a way through though. So he takes the tight turn. The 2 cars make contact. Wainwright's car gets launched into the air. And that was all a bit tight, wasn't it? But Mark Shaw holds on to 3rd in all that. And Max Bartel has almost caught them already as Robert Tusting almost runs out of road. He's got to watch out for his teammate Simon Toyne, who's not much further back. Danny Stanzel there, clipping the apex and the corner marker at Hall Bends. Here's about a third down into Coppice Corner. It is Shaw and Wainwright. Hopefully neither of those cars are damaged in that contact down at the mountain last time by. There's Stanzel turning his way through the left-hander. Such a fast corner is Coppice. Absolutely flat out in these cars. Now this is how Simon Toyne got past James Buckton. A good tow down the park straight into Park Corner and he got through. Well, the best place that is to pass on the circuit in this series, using the slipstream. Out of Mansfield for Grant. Sims, big slide. He's just starting to lose touch now of Callum Grant. Of course, once you lose the toe, that doesn't help you whatsoever. 3rd is Shaw, 4th is Wainwright, 5th is Tilley, 6th is Bartel. Underneath the bridge, onto the brakes, into the mountain. They fling their way through. Then over the top of the hill, the cars get a bit of air. Into Hall Bends they turn. The quartet of cars. There's 7th place Tusting. Then Toyne, Buckton and Smith, who clobbers the curbs. There's Stansel, P11. Now he's being chased by Ben Tusting. There's the top 2 into Coppice. 3rd, Shaw, under lots of pressure from Rob Wainwright. Wainwright is right there. He couldn't find a way through though. The quartet behind saying the same order too. Let's ride on board with Max Bartel. Now, who after this 4 is going to make a move into Park Corner? But it's Bartel going to the outside of Tilly. Tilly defended early there. So Bartel knew to go to the outside. Tilly late onto the brakes. He stays ahead still. He's still in 5th. Now we can turn right through Chris Curve, the long right-hander. Wainwright really trying to put the pressure onto Shaw. Now through the gooseneck before we plummet downhill into Mansfield. Tilly looking to the inside of Wainwright. Let him know he's still there. We have the 3 Merlins and the Eldon of Rob Wainwright. Now into the left-right at the mountain. Wainwright takes a more swooping line than that of Shaw. Bartel gets a bit of a slide. Over the top of the hill they go. And into Hall Bends. Great place to watch here at Cadwell Park. Drivers right on the limit here. Then over the brow of the hill, Wainwright's car getting sideways underneath the braking for the right-hander, known as the hairpin. And then right at Barn. And the 4 of them are as one, heading onto the start and finish straight. Now, is anyone going to have a go into Coppice Corner this time? Wainwright's going to the outside of Shaw. No way through there though. Wainwright flinging his car through Charlie's. Charlie's 1, then through Charlie's 2 they go now onto the Mark Straight. Mark Shaw running out very wide. Is that going to give Wainwright a good run? Tilly's right there too. Yes, Wainwright going to the outside of Shaw. Shaw running his car up the middle of the road. Now defending to the inside, but Wainwright can't find a way through. Tilly's there on the inside. Bartel looking to the outside too. Great racing between the 4 of them. Through Chris Curve, down towards the gooseneck. Tilly, not sure whether to defend or attack in his spot. As is Wainwright, you'd have to think. Tilly looking down the inside of Wainwright into Mansfield. They still say in that same order. Here they come then, down towards the mountain. Each of them 3 cars at the head of that order, all peeping out of the tow. Over the top of the hill, down towards Hall Bends. It is still the 79 car of Shaw that leads them. From 31 of Wainwright, 48 of Tilly and 4 of Bartel. Then we've got Robert Tusting, Simon Toyne, James Buckton, Rob Smith. They're having a great battle between the 4 of them. Ben Tusting has caught Danny Stansel now. Onto the start line once more. To complete another lap. Into the closing stages of this one now. Here comes Wainwright round the outside. Can't find a way through. We're on board with Tilly. Bit further back there's Andrew Wiggins ahead of John Hayes Harlow. We've got Alistair Littlewood behind him. And through, Ben Tusting passes Danny Stansel to go 11th. So that's 10 places gained in this race from Ben Tusting. And he overtook something like 17 cars in the race earlier on. Tilly looking to the inside of Wainwright at Park. No way through. Through the gooseneck. Wainwright using lots of curb on the way in. Tilly using lots of curb on the second part of that section of turns. Out of Mansfield, down towards the mountain we can go. It's Shaw, Wainwright, Tilly. Bartel's dropped off the 3 of them just a touch. There's Tusting, Toyne, Buckton and Smith. They head over the mountain. It's a great battle there too. So much scrapping to watch in this. Bartel slides his way through Hall Bends. There's Tusting in 7th, 8th is Toyne, 9th is Buckton, 10th is Smith. Now, so Tusting in 11th, Stanzel's 12th. Through Barn Corner we go, a big slide there for Ben Tilley. Oh, there was that puff of smoke out the back of Tilley's car, and Bartel pulls up alongside him. The two cars are level as they head into Coppice Corner. It's still Tilley on the inside. He carries lots of speed through the corner. Big four-wheel drift there, and he stays ahead. Matt Wrigley's got ahead of Perty Kaviri now. Then Kevin Stanzel is behind. Good run from Tilley on the Park Straight. He's trying to find a way past Rob Wainwright. Wainwright hanging on to that 4th position for now though. Down towards the gooseneck. Great camera shot from Ben Tilley. You see how much work you have to put at the wheel of these Formula Ford 1600 cars. Callum Grant over the top of the mountain. Launching the car over the brow of the hill. 3rd place is still Mark Shaw. He's had to defend very hard through this one to hold on to this podium spot. Ben Tilley's got a good run over the top of the hill, but no way past into Hall Bend. Through they go. Tustin keeping a good distance still to Toyne to stay ahead. On to the final lap for Callum Grant. Ben Sims trying to go with him still, and the two of them way ahead of the rest of the field. The whole straight length between him and Mark Shaw, who's got Wainwright right behind him. Wainwright has got a good run there. Battle's continuing further back. Let's go on board with Ben Tilley, who's having to defend into Coppice. He stays 5th, and Wainwright couldn't find a way into 3rd, so it's still Mark Shaw. Now is Park Corner going to be the last chance to go through? Well, we're on to that straight now. Top 2 looks fairly certain, but Tilley has had a great run on Wainwright, but not enough to go through. Through right, at the right hander at Park they turn. Wainwright they kicking up a bit of the grass on the inside of the circuit, trying to carry as much pace as possible to find a way past Mark Shaw. To the outside goes Wainwright. No room there though. Down towards the mountain they will turn for the final time. But it is Callum Grant on the way to victory, flinging his way through the corners. Ben Sims in 2nd, over the top of the hill. The battle for 3rd. Looks good for Mark Shaw to hold on to that spot. There they come. And the checking flag being held out for a 3rd victory of the season for Callum Grant. 2nd for Ben Sims. We look to Barn Corner. Who's going to arrive in 3rd? It's Mark Shaw, with Wainwright right behind him, then Tilley and Bartel. That is how they're going to finish. So Mark Shaw does hold on to that podium spot. 7th. But it's very close between the new 2 Neil Fowler cars, and it's just Robert Tusting that holds on to Simon Toyne. Who we can next see out of Barn Corner. This will be in 13th spot. And that will be Perty Kaviri, but it's a 5-way battle. He's got Matt Wrigley behind, as well as Kevin Stanzel, David Wild and Neil Shinner.
Absolutely, that was a phenomenal.
It's so much battling all the way through the field. It's hard to show all these battles as much as they deserve. Alistair Littlewood is next up ahead of Andrew Wiggins. They were both in the heat earlier on. There's James Hadfield and John Hayes Harlow finishing side by side. Who can we pick out next?
Absolutely superb Formula Ford racing. Of course, Formula Ford.
It's Andrew Mansell that's got ahead of this. He's ahead of Stuart Dix. And they will cross the line now, with Roland Svensson at the back of it. So the results of the 5th round of the championship, but it was a 1 2/3 second win for Callum Grant over Ben Sims. Mark Shaw finished 3rd ahead of Rob Wainwright. 5th was Ben Tilley, with Max Bartel 6th. Robert Tusting just beat Simon Toy into 7th, with James Butler and Rob Smith completing the top 10. Ben Tusting beat Danny Stansel, passing him towards the end of the race. Percy Gaviri was 13th, with Matt Wrigley, Kevin Stansel, David Wald and Neil Shinner close behind. Alistair Littlewood was 18th ahead of Andrew Wiggins. John Hayes Harlow beat James Hadfield. Andrew Mansell was 22nd ahead of Stuart Dix and Roland Svensson. A great opening championship race here at Cadwell Park. Another one to come tomorrow. If anything to go by, it should be a great race. But it was Callum Grant. He got pole, he took the win, but he had to get past Ben Sims on that opening lap. That was a crucial move down towards Park Corner. Sims tried to pass a few times. You see Sam Mitchell there down in the pit lane. His car broke in the early stages, so he's going to be someone to watch tomorrow coming from the back. He congratulates the winner, Callum Grant, two former champions there together. Second place, Ben Sims. Had much better luck than he did in his Formula Ford 2000, and he congratulates Callum Grant. A great battle between the two of them. Mitchell also congratulating Sims as he got to watch most of that race, although I'm sure that's not what he would have been hoped to have been doing. So first for Callum Grant, second for Ben Sims, and third for Mark Shaw.
Well, Callum, you wouldn't have known what was going on behind you except for Ben, but it was a brilliant race for third place downwards, but it was a great race by you as well. Well pleased with that, I think.
Yeah, before we start, this one's for Neil Fowler, who's got his leg up at home because he was stupid enough to go and play football before he came racing. But no, it was a cracking race, and it was just trying to put the laps together, trying to pull away from Ben, but he was still there. And if I'd have made a mistake, he'd have been on me.
Well, you didn't. The important thing is you didn't make a mistake, and you actually went quicker. Your fastest lap was done only about 3 or 4 laps from the end.
Yeah, there was one lap and everything came together, but the last lap it all went to pot, and I think he must have taken about 2 seconds out of me, something stupid, as I went up into Charlie's and missed my braking point and went straight on.
But otherwise, it's a circuit you like, this, isn't it?
Yeah, love Cadwell. I'd do every race there if I could.
Well, Ben, second place, but you fought a good fight, didn't you?
Yeah, it was a good laugh, wasn't it?
Good laugh.
Real close, real clean, as you'd expect with Callum. A little bit unlike the first race in the 2 litre, but yeah, happy with that. You know, we don't normally have the pace, so to have the pace in what is rather an unknown car.
Yes, although it's quite well known to you now, isn't it? You've had it a few years.
Yeah, we have. It keeps getting changed though, so it seems to be different every time I drive it, but we've got a bit of pace out of it. Fortunately, I've got the tow from Callum with it, which really helped. But you know, it wasn't to be today.
Do you think you can do some changing with your dad to be able to challenge Callum tomorrow?
Probably not, no.
No, he can't, says Callum.